I'm getting this area cleaned up. Pulling the weeds, trimming, making sure everything is fertilized and ready for this growth season. Now I gotta get this out of here. So tomorrow I have a class. Hopefully Sunday the weather will cooperate. The ground is nice and soft because of all the rain we had. And maybe we're going to get rain. But if we don't, I'm going to dig this out. And it will be a workshop on how to do the initial styling of a trident maypole. So over here we have our bonsai and then the bench. And looky here, there's another one. So I'll probably dig this one out too. So there'll be at least two, hopefully. Well, what happens is that we had the big mother plant and it blew seeds all over the place. Well, Dale and I cut that tree down. We almost wrecked the house, but we cut it down. So now we have remnants of all the seeds that flew. This big trident here, it was the same way a few years back. It takes about 3 to 5 years before we get the wound to heal. Okay, so what I did was I moved the table. I have to undo my irrigation a little bit, and then we're going to get down to the business of digging this out. But there's too many branches. I want to cut some out, but I want to make sure I don't cut so much that I'm going to say, oh my gosh, I should have kept this branch because it would have been so much nicer. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do next, is to sort of figure out what I want to say, but not knowing exactly what to do. It's going to be a fun job. Once you go all the way around, then you're going to pop these loose. Tridents are fairly good because they don't have the taproot per se in this soil. If it was a really rich soil, probably would, but for some reason it stayed mostly on the surface. Okay, got it out. Now what are we going to do with this tree? Now I see multiple styles in there. We could go traditional or something that other people will not do. Well, those of you that have been following me, you know what I'm going to do, right? So to me, if I want traditional, I cut this side off and we'll go this way. But I'm going to cut this off and go that way. So I just took this one off, but I think I also need to cut this off. I'm not going to try to cut it clean here yet because one, I'm not sure, two, a possible dieback. So I'll get it shaped up with rough, let it grow a little bit, and then go back and cut. But I'm going to cut right here next. So what I'm after is this line here. It dips down. Well, there's a few more choices to be made, but I kind of like that because that's not how these will normally grow. Well, I chopped the head off, but because it was underneath the bench, it does this weird thing, right? So I like to work with the weirdness first. Here, do I want to go up this line or this line? This one, I think it hit the ground, so it took an abrupt change. But I think this one has a little bit better line to it. So I'm going to cut it off here and hope like heck that it was not a mistake. And then just get these cut short so we can see what it is that we have to work with, right? So let me clean off this table so you get a better idea what I'm trying to do. Put it in this pot, I think. It'd be better if I put it in a bigger container, but I want to get it so that we could afford the bonsai pot in the future. So anyway, I'm gonna work the roots and see if I could get it in this pot safely. And somewhere down the line, if I feel unsafe, then I'll back off and then go look for a bigger container. But that's sort of the process that you have to go through. And one of the theories is, okay, trying to squeeze in here, we might increase the chance of failure, but it's better to fail now than later when you already invested 5-10 years, right? So anyway, I'm going to try to get it in there just so that we could afford the pot when it's ready to become a bonsai. Okay, that was some heavy pruning at the roots, and I'm able to get it into this container. Okay, now if I had put this in a bigger container with almost all the root intact, it would have been like a 95% success rate. At this point, where I cut more off, probably about 70%. So we start to increase the failure rate as we get more aggressive. But 3 years from now, I think we will we will be happier with the results because the big roots are gone and all the fibrous root will be real close to the trunk. So anyway, I'm going to just repot this thing. And so what we're not doing is not making a bonsai. I've always taken these so that the first step when it's get dug out, we're just looking for the recovery. So we want this to get really healthy, get really bushy, get a lot of roots, and then next year or the year after, we'll start to fine tune it. That's why all the rough cuts are going to be that way. So there's no dieback and ruining our precious line. Okay, so anyway, I'll get to the next step. I'm going to stop here, and next I'm just going to put it in my hospital area. You notice that I didn't tie it down, right? So we can't disturb this. So I have to put it in an area where people will not try to, you don't know what people are going to try to do, but we don't want to shake this as this is recovering. So anyway, I'm going to put it in there, and then all these get recut when the time is right. It might be this fall, but most likely next spring. And then like over here in the apex, I think this is a new line, but I'm just going to leave it like that. So to me, if you're going to do a good bonsai, you have to allow time for healing. Well, we got to regain the health. And then next, we're going to do these fine tuning so that they will recover. Too many people at this stage, they put wire on it and stick it on and pretend that it's a bonsai. No, this one is going to take another 5 years. But in 5 years, this will be great. Although this part is a little bit on the long side, but I'm not sure whether this will be better. Well, I don't like this bulge. See right here? Well, remember this was over there behind the bench, so I just took a lopper and lopped this off. But now we got a reverse taper, so I think I'm gonna have to cut it down to here. One big consideration is the root, right? This has to be the front. It cannot be like this because all this root will be in your face. So we got no choice but to do something like this and be the front. So let's kind of proceed with that in mind. So this is still not bad. We'll get the next branch go this way, somewhere over here, and then these either gets removed completely or becomes a double trunk. Or Well, this is another one in here, but I think that one's gonna go, and we'll probably end up with this or this one. So now I'm gonna find a pot I could put this in and then make some more decisions. Okay, once again, I'm gonna use this pot and I'm gonna make the root fit rather than go for safety by saving all the roots. I guess I could go like this, but I think more of a symmetrical. Anyway, I'll go ahead and work the roots and make sure I could get it in this pot. Okay, I got it in and I buried it deeper. The root flare is starting to disappear because, like I say, I don't wire it down, so I need the stability. So this is going to go into the people stay away area, and hopefully we don't bump it. The next 2-3 months is most critical as the root hair starts to recover. If you bump it, then you damage those and damage the top. So anyway, like I was saying with the other one, this is all about recovery to regain health, right? So that's all we're going to concentrate on. We're not going to sit here and try to style it and say, well, this branch, blah, 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 blah. Waste of time. So anyway, this is my approach. This might change, these might change, we don't know, because only thing we're concerned at this point is to get it to get healthy. Get healthy first, and then we start to work. Okay? So hopefully these two will inspire you to go into your yard that it's plant out of place. Go ahead and take it out and try to make it into a bonsai. So anyway, you just can't rush it. Just get through these steps, recover, and then we'll start the styling process. So this is a good 3 to 5 years before it start to look like a halfway decent bonsai. But that's reality, people. Okay, so this is Hero saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon in another chapter.